Today I'm going to share my pros and cons of Strathmore's Bristol Vellum paper with colored pencils and why I absolutely love this paper so much. Having tried 3 different variations of Strathmore's Bristol Vellum, the 300, 400, and 500 series. I'm going to go over their differences and which ones will better suit your needs as well. This paper is definitely one of the best in terms of quality and affordability. It's been my go-to paper for a lot of my drawings lately. Really quick, you can learn how to draw wildlife and pets from my 1 to 15 hour real-time drawing tutorials over on Patreon for as little as $5 to $10 a month. Signing up gives you instant access to a library of tutorials for colored pencil, graphite, and soft pastel, with new ones added every single month. I'll have a link to my Patreon in the description. Let's get into the paper. I'll have links in the description to all the different kinds of paper in this video if you want to try any of them out for yourself to see how you like them. I am not sponsored to do this video, this is just an honest review of these papers. First, let's go over the cons to using Bristol Vellum paper in general before we go over the pros, and then we'll get into the differences between the 3 different series types. The first con of using this paper for colored pencils is that because it is a smoother paper, there isn't a whole lot of tooth to the paper, meaning it won't grab as much of the colored pencil as medium textured paper will. This means you will be limited with the number of layers you can get onto this paper, likely only 3 medium to heavy layers before the paper just won't take anymore. So in order to use this paper effectively, you need to plan out your layers well and not make too many mistakes so that by the time you are close to maxing out the layers, that area is done and you don't need to add any more. And when you are drawing certain subjects that require a good mix of colors to get the colors right, this is going to be a difficult paper to do that on. And again, with needing to plan out your layers well and knowing how much to add of each color for getting the color you need faster. To sum this up, if you are a beginner to colored pencils or not very experienced with mixing colors, this paper might be a bit more of a challenge for you to draw on. Now, what all I just explained is the only con to the paper that I found to be an issue. There really aren't any more. So now on to the pros to this paper. The first pro to this paper is that because it is smooth, this works really great for using tools that scrape off the top layer of colored pencil for creating details. This kind of technique doesn't work as nicely when using more textured papers. The second pro is that this paper is very thick. It feels like an extra thick cardboard and is not flimsy feeling at all. I personally feel like this makes it more durable and better suited for professional drawings. You're not going to have any issues of accidentally crinking this paper at all. The next pro to this paper is that it is really great for drawing fur. When drawing fur, it is a series of stroke layers of multiple colors, so you don't need a more textured paper to be able to draw fur effectively. So with this paper being smooth, there are less grooves to the paper's tooth that have to be filled in, making your pencil strokes look very smooth and full. Next is that because of the paper's thickness being so great, it means that this paper stays nice and flat with a heavy amount of layers and complete drawings. This makes it easier to scan for prints and photograph because you aren't battling any curled edges. The sixth pro to this paper is that the cost per sheet is really great, with the average cost per sheet between 66 cents and $1.45 for the 9x12 and 11x14 inch sized pads. And the pads come with about 20 sheets for the 300 series and 15 for the 400 and 500. As if it doesn't get any better, this paper is glue bound, so it makes tearing out a sheet super easy to do without bending or damaging the paper. Just so you know, the first sheet usually has some residual glue on the edges, and you can either scrape it off with your nails, trim it, or just use it as scratch paper, and the rest of the sheets with the pad are not affected in this way. Now, let's go over the differences of the 300, 400, and 500 series, and which one will better suit your needs for drawing. First, let's mention the similarities between them all. They are all acid-free, meaning they won't cause your drawing's colors to change or fade over time. They all are heavyweight paper, all are glue-bound, and they all come in standard variations of sizes. According to Strathmore, the 300 series is made for beginner and student artists for practicing studies and final artwork. Well, in terms of how the paper is made, it isn't the most premium option if you are looking for archival quality. Based on what I can see with this paper, with looking at them myself, is it looks whiter than the 400 and 500 series, meaning that this paper is likely made with optical brighteners, which make the sheets look whiter. This means that in terms of longevity for this paper to maintain how bright white it is, it won't stay bright white for a very long time, and there isn't a way to specify how long it will stay white because that depends on the environment of the artwork, and it takes many years for this to happen. It also is likely to have been made with some other more undesirable properties in the wood pulp as well. The weight of this paper is measured in pounds and is 100 pounds or 270 grams. What does this mean for us artists? Well, it just means that this paper is really great quality for beginners and student artists that create finished artwork, but not necessarily for professional artists looking for paper that is going to give their artwork the best possibility to stand the test of a very long time without fading. This paper is not the right choice for professional work. For the 400 series, the formation of the sheets is better quality, making them harder and more durable, which is suited more for advanced artists and final artwork. When comparing this paper to the 300 series, it looks less white, which means that it does not contain optical brighteners to make the paper whiter, which is a good thing if you are wanting paper that will be more fade resistant over time. What does this mean for you? This paper is better suited for more experienced artists who will be creating more final drawings and looking to use higher quality paper that will help your artwork be fade resistant. This paper's weight is not measured in pounds and is instead measured in ply, in which it is 2 ply. All three of these different types feel like they are the same thickness though. Now on to the 500 series. This paper is archival as well as acid-free, which means it has no groundwood, unbleached pulp, and is free from optical brighteners. It is made out of 100% cotton, thus making it archival quality. It looks the same in terms of the white brightness as the 400 series does. So this paper is the best option for professional artists who are selling their work and need a paper that will give their work the best possible permanence of longevity from fading over time. Now, if you ask me on comparing the textures of all three of these paper types, there is a difference between the 300, the 400, and 500. The 300 appears to have a bit of a smoother finish compared to the 400 and 500. Not that it is going to severely impact your artwork, but it definitely is noticeable by eyeing them, let alone when drawing on them. They are all a vellum surface, so have a minimal toothy finish as compared to other types of papers like the Strathmore colored pencil paper, which you can watch my review on the colored pencil paper from the top right video where I go over the pros and cons to using that paper for both colored pencils and graphite. It is similar to Strathmore's medium drawing paper, but is white, which works out great for colored pencils. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.